Hey guys, welcome down to the podcast. I'm Tyler the golfer, and I'm here with Chris, one of the instructors down here at Kelowna Driving Range. And Chris, you've been here, how many years have you been here now?
In Kelowna?
Yeah.
Since 2016.
Okay, yeah. And then you've been here, this is your third year?
It will be my third season here.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. And how'd you find it so far?
I love working with you guys.
Yeah, good.
You treat me really well.
Well, we like having you.
Thank you.
And you get a lot of students down here.
Yes.
And you've got some...
I don't even have to market. They just walk up.
They just come.
And you do a good job too,
It's like
marketing.
we built it and they came.
Yeah.
The field of golf dreams. And you've got some packages, so we've got some information right there.
Absolutely. Most of the time I coach people per the month, right?
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I just think that is needed to reach the next level. I'm a golf coach that likes to pride himself in really creating results, and the results don't come overnight.
Very true.
That's a fact.
Yeah, very true.
So yeah, a lot of driving range members here. They bring their own golf balls. They're members here. They practice, and that's where I come up with the monthly coaching program. And most people come in twice a week. You can come in also daily, 15 minutes a day, 10-15 minutes a day for the checkup to dial yourself in. And it's been really successful. People like that. People like the constant supervision, and that creates results.
Definitely. And I find too, like I notice a lot of your students, they come in between and practice, whereas a lot of times you do find students that just don't.
Yeah.
And I notice a lot of your students definitely, they pop in and they'll practice throughout the week, and yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, I love my students. They're so serious. They're like in terms of their goals, and they enjoy getting better, and it warms my heart.
Yeah, and you will coach everybody from the beginner to the and I've seen you some teenagers as well. Or what kind of age group? Where would you say, like, if a parent has their child and the child has some kind of interest in golf, what point in time is a good time to finally sit down for lessons?
It depends on not so much on the chronological development of a child, but more on the biological development.
Okay.
So which means some kids are 8 and they're super developed. They've played 7 sports in their lives already, and they're attentive and have a long attention span. And then you can say, okay, let's start lessons seriously one-on-one.
Right.
Some kids just need a little bit more time, and puberty's hit later, et cetera, et cetera. So it depends on the development on the child and what the child expresses too.
Right.
I prefer working with children who come see me because they want to come.
Right. Not because mom says, hey, time for some lessons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Excellent. And then through the teenager programs, any advice for them to get started with golf if
Yeah, play all the sports. Play baseball, play hockey. Gymnastics is fantastic. The more well-rounded athlete you are, the easier it is to play golf. If you early specialize in golf, you might be better up until age 14, 15 than most kids, and all of a sudden you plateau and you can't get to the next level.
Okay.
But the kids who have played all the sports and excel in all the sports, they just need to get the right information at some point, and then they will...
Because their body's already loosened up and their muscles are going, and they're all athletic.
Yeah, they're programmed to move athletically.
Right.
And then it's very easy to coach golf.
Yeah.
And if you have a hard time creating information, letting the information create the muscle movements,
right?
Because you haven't done it similarly in different sports. For example, baseball and hockey, a lot of body parts move very similarly.
Yeah.
Then it's tougher, but it's still possible.
Yes, absolutely. We always see the golf, the hocky guys.
Yeah, they're the
out here
best.
Trying to golf.
That's why I love coaching Canada. It's a breeze for me. Everyone's so athletic.
Yeah.
And I'm from Germany originally, so not many rotational athletes there, more soccer guys. It's tough to move them in a circle.
Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And then you do couples lessons and semi-privates and all that other good stuff.
Yep. I find more often ladies drag their husbands to the golf lessons.
We think we're already good enough.
Absolutely. We men are perfect and we cannot learn anything.
Yeah. And it's so opposite. I was discussing on a different podcast about how it's nice to watch the LPGA because it's just, they make it so effortlessly and the ball just goes forever. And then you watch the guys swing out of their shoes and they're in the bushes. It's like, sure, DJ can hit it long, but what's his accuracy ratings,
Still pretty good.
Oh, yeah, extremely. Much compared to us, that's for sure. Yeah. So the beginning of the season's coming up.
Yes.
We're not quite open here yet. We hope to be open in like a week or so. Is there anything that you would suggest for people to get doing now at home? Where can they start getting ready for golf season? What can they do?
For sure. Well, it's a tough one to literally talk about. I have to show a little
Right,
bit
fair
in
enough.
person. But my suggestion is when you take the rust off after not playing much golf or at all in the winter. Maybe you've gone to Palm Springs or
Right.
played for a week. If you want to, the rule number one is, and also for me as a coach, like don't injure yourself. Don't injure the client for me. So in the beginning when we start, it's like 7-8 degrees. It might be comfortable, but you don't want to swing out of your shoes right away. You want to work maybe on more half swings and 3/4 swings and work more on the little details before you go into full swings and then push yourself a little bit to hit the golf ball further and further. For at home, of course, there's always golf-specific exercises that I can recommend at this point. Generally, my more serious golfers, including the teenagers, I've hooked them up already with golf-specific exercises to get at least moving again.
Okay.
And in a golf-specific way, which means you have to move your upper body independently, you have to move your lower body independently. We need, ankle mobility, hip mobility, shoulder mobility, and wrist mobility, and a lot of stability in our knees, in our core, in our abdominals, and in our shoulders, in our scapular area. And if you're mobile in the right areas and if you're stable in the right areas, and you warm it up and you switch all the things on that you actually have available to you, not just okay, it's 6 degrees, I'm gonna swing my driver right away.
Exactly.
Switch it on first. The golf swing will thank you. The probability to injure yourself is lower. So
that's a big one. Definitely don't want to injure yourself before the golf season gets going.
now, if you have any more questions, you can direct message me, right?
Yeah.
Reach out.
We'll have your website
Yeah.
is right there
there.
somewhere. Perfect. And we'll have it on the link below. So just go ahead and click
If
there.
you Google me, it'll pop up.
Right.
Just my name, Chris Trunzer Golf. Website's right there.
Yeah. Excellent. And you do. You have a lot of tech that you bring with you sometimes.
Yeah.
What's one piece that's probably your favorite to use?
Yeah, my favorite piece is K-Motion.
Okay.
K-Motion is basically a garment that is hooked up with Bluetooth sensors. And these Bluetooth sensors measure in real time how you're moving in space.
Okay.
And the coolest thing about it is actually it gives you audio feedback whether you're moving correctly or incorrectly.
Oh, interesting.
And so thousands of golfers on the LPGA Tour and PGA Tour have been measured, and there's a range where most of them are in. There's always outliers, and they always make the interesting move work with a lot of good practice. But basically, you can move with this technology with me, like you can move like a PGA Tour player, LPGA Tour player in an instant. All you have to listen to is the music. And if you don't hear it, then you're not moving close enough. So I haven't hooked you up yet.
No, we got to do that.
We got to do that. It's the learning curve is so steep.
Yeah, I bet.
It's so steep. Like, and coaches who have worked with the system are just, it trains my eye too. Right? If somebody moves in a certain plane and the upper body's, not side bending enough to the left at a certain moment in the golf swing when it should, eventually you start realizing almost to the degree if somebody is on plane or whatever it needs to be doing. And you relate the movement then to the club movement. The club movement obviously it impact dictates what shot shape you have.
Right.
Yeah.
So it gives you the feedback too, not only because you're looking at one thing, and then so the music you hear it as well.
Yes, it's on.
Right, it's kind of loudspeaker or
like,
whatever.
It's like the soothing tone. Like,
Okay. So you're looking at something and then you hear it cut out, and you're like, why did it cut out? And you can actually look and see something you didn't notice or weren't looking for right off the hop.
Yeah.
Very smart.
It literally eliminates mistakes on my end too.
Right.
Yeah. So guessing and hey, try this and try that, and me crossing the fingers that it gives them a better ball flight. Those days are gone.
Right.
Like we, as a golf coach nowadays, you should be able to guarantee results.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And if not, try some technology.
Yeah, that is definitely key. I think is we are living in the future. Technology is big. That's what adapted here with the top tracer stuff. Now it's that technology to really kind of help you a little bit more than than you could in the past. Just hitting balls, just pounding them out wasn't doing it. So,
actually, talking about Top Tracer, one of the cool things I've done with some students this year is Top Tracer measures launch angle.
yes.
And launch angle obviously should always be adjusted to the ball speed that somebody has. So if somebody's ball speed is not as high, you want to launch most clubs higher.
Okay.
If somebody's got really fast ball speed, it's okay to launch a bit lower because the golf ball with the dimples has a lift and drag effect. So if the ball's really fast, it's actually going to rise on its own, right?
Yes.
So when I work on impact, for example, or better contact, a lot of times we go on Top Tracer and say, hey, check out your 7-iron launch angle. It's at 32 degrees. That is 10 degrees too high.
Right.
And then I just all we're going to do right now is take that launch angle lower and lower.
Yeah.
You're still supposed to hit it well.
Yes.
You can't start thinning the golf ball.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But as you lower the launch angle and give somebody the exercise and challenge, hey, it's still high. You're 28 now. You're getting better, but
and it's nice to see because you can see the numbers on the Top Tracer
see it instantly,
system.
and you just lower it and lower it, and all of a sudden, as I'm taping maybe with the slow motion camera, as they're getting better at that skill, launching the ball, all of a sudden the impact improves better technically.
Right.
It has to.
Yes.
So it's a cool way to use technology. It's most of the time Top Tracer is designed for fun and entertainment.
Right.
But you can also use it for coaching if you know how to.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the My Practice mode where you can record all your data, and I encourage your students and all the students to use it throughout the week as well, so that they can kind of show you as well. Here's what I have been doing, right? We've magically created it's a logbook essentially of all your shots and all your data.
Predictability.
Yeah.
It's a game of predictability.
It really is. It really is.
You don't have to be perfect, but you have to kind of, in a sixth sense kind of way, predict what's about to happen.
Yeah. So, what golf courses around here would you suggest then? Let's start with, maybe a beginner, a high handicapper.
Michael Brook.
Yeah.
It's wide open. If you hit it sideways, you're in the next fairway.
Yeah, it's easy to hit back.
It's easy to hit back. You might have to apologize a couple times around. But Canadians are so nice and good at apologizing. So
Definitely.
That's no problem.
Definitely. Then what intermediate?
Challenge yourself.
Any advice for an intermediate golfer that says, hey, I'm gonna go play. I only get out 2-3 times a year.
Ooh, that's
right?
A beginner, no?
No, okay, yeah, beginner. Fair enough. So he gets out more than a few times. Let's say 12 times a year.
Okay.
Right.
For on-course tips?
Yeah.
Do the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Meaning, it's almost like pick your club, take 10 seconds to think, 10 seconds to hit the ball, hold your finish, accept, and repeat and repeat and repeat.
And do it every time.
Every time.
That's the most
Even
important
if you
part.
shank it or if you have a hole in one.
Yeah.
Do it every single time that the results come to you. You want to trust that your body and your instincts figure out the nitty-gritty things by putting a structure on top of it.
Yes.
And a lot of people just have a beer, hit fast. Oh yeah, that should work. Do it again. Oh, it didn't work next time.
Yeah.
And then they start to slow down.
Yeah.
And then the slowing down works once. Oh, that must be the trick.
Right. Yes.
This happened once. This must be it.
Yeah.
And then 2 shots later, it's no, that doesn't work either.
Yeah.
But what works is to stick to something and repeat it, and then within that umbrella, letting it all.
Yeah, because it's mental. It's a mental mind game, and more importantly, is it's subconscious, right? A lot of it, just the
Parts
the
of it.
brain kind of knows what it wants to do.
Yes.
And so you have to let your brain kind of get into that mode and then do what you need to do.
Yeah, parts of it are supposed to, in some parts of the shot routine, 30 seconds before contact and 10, 15 seconds after the shot. There's parts of it that are better done with the subconscious.
Right.
But there's other parts you need to switch on your type A mentality and analyze and switch on your brain and be conscious.
Yeah.
If you're figuring out where the wind's coming from and if it's downhill or uphill or if you've hooked everything left
Right.
for that last 10 shots, you better have your mind switched on.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of but then when it's time, after that plan, that master plan, how I call it, Once you're done with that, then it's time to go into type B and artist and subconscious and let it go.
Right.
And let it happen. Whatever you have planned with your type A personality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need both.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the best advices I ever got that helped me out in my golf game was to keep my head up. And it allowed my brain to think about other things than what I just did. Right? So if I hit a bad shot, right, and then I'm walking away from that shot, if I can look up and see out rather than stare at the ground and walk. Because once I'm staring at the ground and walking, my brain just, it can think of all the bad things I just did and blame myself for it.
Yeah, posture creates emotions.
Yeah. So you're walking with your head up, and it's a beautiful day. You're playing golf.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything going on keeps the brain occupied and doesn't allow it to
A lot of people,
bring in the negatives.
a lot of people do depression on the course.
Right. Absolutely.
They are not depressed. They do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Walking with the head down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, the students can get a hold of you on the website. They can contact through here as well.
Yeah.
And
Texting, email, all of it.
Excellent.
I'm quick to respond. Usually, I put my business first and pride myself in the service, meaning calling people back and chatting about what they want, what they need, and accommodating as good as I can. There's only 24 hours in a day, and but I try my hardest. And
there's a lot of companies out there that don't call back, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah,
but it happens. One of the things you did last year here, which was really cool, was called Golf and Tacos.
Yes.
You want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, Golf and Tacos, I'm very happy they picked me as the local golf coach. Golf and Tacos is basically the gateway for ladies to learn golf in a community that they can trust.
Okay.
A lot of times, ladies are intimidated to play golf with their significant others. Maybe they've played for a long, long time, or the tips, well-meant tips, don't work, and then there's frustration. It just has this like odd dynamic, and it just unfortunately for years has prevented for ladies to really getting passionate about golf. So Golf and Tacos is basically a female-only lesson program designed and run by my friend Caitlin from Vancouver. And she does a wonderful job on Instagram and promoting it. And there's photographies and hangouts and dinners and obviously tacos.
Right, yeah. And it's group lessons.
It's group lessons, and there's also the ability to, go from, they call it mild, medium, and spicy. And then if you eventually are good enough to enter a spicy level of coaching, there's also a one-on-one.
Right.
And it's a wonderful program. And I don't know how many cities run it now, but I think it's 8 or 9 cities in Canada.
That's fantastic.
It's thousands of girls enjoying golf, the fashion, the food, the camaraderie, the community, the photos, the Instagram.
Yeah.
So important, and I'm very happy and honored to be part of it.
That's fantastic.
And motivate them and creating a safe space for learning, and
it's very important. And we here at the Kelowna Driving Range, we assign the spots when somebody comes in, and it's one thing we always take into consideration. Right, we kind of gauge it as like, okay, like, these girls are here to have fun and whatnot, so we'll put them in front. They're closer to the wine, or there might be a group of guys having fun, and I won't put them right next to the group of guys having fun. You know what I mean? Like we do our best to make sure that everybody feels comfortable at all times.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it goes both ways. Here's a fun one for you. There is a new golf ball on the market that I'm actually quite fascinated by. And I'm going to play them. Max Fly.
Oh, nice.
We've heard of them terrible names before.
Well, the Max Fly Revolution golf ball in the late 90s.
Great ball.
Was it late 90s?
I think so. It was right there, right in there somewhere.
I was just getting someone good at golf, and I had to play this golf ball. It was insane.
Yeah. They did make good balls. And then they tapered down, and they were a budget company for quite a long time. But they have a new ball. And I'm very tempted. I want to check this out. I've seen some stats. They claim is 20% straighter. Now, the fun part on it. So I don't know. You've probably seen the videos of the golf ball that's bald on two sides, right? So it only has dimples down the middle. And if you line it up and then whack it, it will spin and keep it straighter because it auto corrects itself. Right. So what they've done now, these balls are 100. Not these ones, the one I was just saying, but the MaxFly ones are legal. They have adjusted the dimples on them into these triangle patterns so that it does the same thing. So it doesn't matter how your ball's lying when you hit it. Once it takes off, it'll auto-correct itself and spin straight.
So you can't curve the ball anymore, though.
20% less.
Oh.
So, but for the average golfer, for the 5 times a year golfer, could be a good idea.
So what's 20% less from 50 yards right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's and watching the review videos, it was that thing like, you know, how do I review this? Like, I mean, so hit the ball. It's like, yeah, that was straight, but was it me or was it the ball?
Sometimes it's good to be so far right because it's a different fairway.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to get out of it. You go right over the sand.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna attempt to play those this year.
Cool.
Check them out. And then the TaylorMade stuff. The new TaylorMade driver looks fantastic.
The Phantom?
Yeah. Now it's not new technology, or no, was it? Yeah, the Phantom.
It looks good, but like just to talk quickly about drivers, I mean, the center of the face has been regulated since 1999.
Yes.
To only transfer so much energy.
Yes.
If you hit the middle of the face, which is the name of the game.
Yes. It's going to react no matter what you're hitting.
You don't need to buy a driver for the last 22 years.
Right. Yeah.
Now, off-center, it's...
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But not too much.
Not drastic.
Not drastic.
Not drastic.
No. But like, you need the good shaft, you need the right weight, you need the right grip.
That's probably the big key factor is the shaft.
Yeah, and the biggest key factor is the golf swing.
100%, 100%. And I always advise people, you know, they come in all the time and they want to get fitted for clubs and whatnot. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what you got. Let's go hit some of your balls. And there's been several times where I'll just turn around and say, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I'll do it, but there's no point. Go take a lesson. Because I'm just going to fit you. You're going to spend $2,000 on clubs and it's not going to help. So take that $2,000, spend that on lessons.
Yeah, I'll give you a kickback.
Right, there we go. And then get clubs and go from there.
Yeah.
Right, just makes life easier and more fun on the golf course.
Yeah, clubs only work when your swing speed has drastically changed.
Yes.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
People buy clubs after lessons.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing then. People buy different wedges after short game lessons because I educate them on what's possible.
Right.
And then all of a sudden these big forgiving wedges that they all play to have more forgiveness in short game, they don't apply anymore.
No.
Right? So if you have proper form in short game, then you qualify for a tour caliber wedge, and so much fun. So much spin, so much fun, so much control, and that's fun. That's the fun part of my job when people buy tour clubs.
After they get their lessons and
I've done it.
Yeah, and they're so much more satisfied because I mean you take strokes off their game quick.
Yeah.
You know, if they're focused and they're learning.
Yeah. The committers are the best. Like the ones who say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit 5 months, twice a week, and I said 99.9% you'll be 2 levels better.
Right.
It's just It's again going back to technology.
Yeah.
We're not guessing anymore. There's a roadmap that creates for real results.
And repetition.
Yeah.
Right? Repetition is key. Do the same thing. So your lessons every other week, whatever the case may be, and then you play and you practice, but repetition.
Yes.
Yeah. Take strokes off your game and have a
I
little more
am
fun.
taking vocal lessons right now, and I'm telling you, I'm shit. Beep.
Yeah.
But I've had probably 12 lessons
Okay.
right now, and I can see results.
There you go.
I'm going to continue.
Nice.
And I want to just prove to everyone that anything is possible with consistency and vulnerability and trust in the coach and a little bit of faith and a little bit of elbow grease.
Yeah. Definitely the elbow grease. Got to put the work in. Can't just do the lessons and get good.
No.
This isn't a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. So you're going to start a death metal band? Is that German and everything?
That's too soft for me. I haven't created a genre, and it's going to be more heavy metal than death metal.
There you go. I like it a lot. There's some good German bands out there you have to compete against.
Yeah.
Not very many German Canadian bands you could compete against. So you got the market cornered, I think. Excellent. Well, I think that's all I really
Yeah.
got for you. So thanks for coming down.
A pleasure hanging out with you always.
Yeah, we're going to make sure you book a lesson with Chris. We'll get the website down below and in the descriptions and on the wall right here, actually. It's right there. Trust me, it is.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.